Hi, now today I'm doing something I don't normally do. I've come to photograph a rare bird. I spend most of my time photographing common birds, and before I was into bird photography and I was just bird watching, I was never interested in rare birds then. I liked watching common birds and the behaviour. I was always more into behaviour than identification skills. So the bird we're after, a pectoral sandpiper. Now, pectoral sandpipers do turn up in the UK every autumn, I believe. It's a regular vagrant. It's a bird that really comes from North America, and I have photographed them in Canada, but a long time ago on film. So this will be my first digital pictures of a pectoral sandpiper. Now, this is about an hour's drive from my house, and then when I got here I spent about an hour walking about trying to find the bird. Eventually I did, but what surprised me was I thought I'd look out for bird watchers and not the bird. That's the way you normally find things these days. You see a crowd of bird watchers, that must be where it is. But there was nobody here. One other photographer has turned up while I've been here. Otherwise, I had the place to myself. Now, after a few minutes photography, I realised the one thing I'd got to change. I had to take the centre column out of the tripod, and then you replace it with a short stubby centre column. And by doing that, you can now lower the tripod down to ground level by bending the legs right up like this. But the problem is, the ground is a lot muddier than I was expecting. In fact, it's very muddy. So I did think about going back to the car. I've got my Wellington boots in the car, and I've got my wetsuit as well, jacket and trousers. But it's a long walk back to the car, and well, I couldn't be bothered. At the end of the day, it's just clothing. You put it in the washing machine when you get home, it's clean again. I'm just going to be muddy for a short while. So having gone to the time and trouble of getting to the location and then finding the bird and then getting rather muddy, I'm going to want a big variety of pictures. We'll start off with a normal portrait, but the bird is against the background with a similar colour to the bird. So although I'm going to take it, I want the bird against the water, ideally. That helps to separate the bird. But the colour of the water, very whitish water, I'm not that keen. I would rather have a green coloured water. And you get that by going lower down with the camera. It totally changes the reflection. So this is why I want to ensure I can get down low with the camera. Now, it doesn't always work. Here I'm not so keen on it because I can't see the bird's legs or the bottom part of the legs. Not so bad when it's in the water. It's a sort of natural cut off, but when the mud was hiding the legs, I don't like that so much. That's better. I want the bird when it catches a prey item, and I want different image sizes. So I'm using the OM-1 Mk2, the 150 to 400mm lens, and I really like to make use of that built-in 1.25 extender. I'm in the mud. It's really difficult to lean forward and grab hold of that zoom ring. But that 1.25 extender switch is right at the back of the lens and very easy to reach and switch instantly. I'm also going to make sure I take vertical pictures as well as horizontal, and when I'm doing the verticals I want the bird at the top of the frame, but I'm also going to take it lower down the frame. I'm often impressed with bird watchers' identification skills. If I came across this bird, I would hesitate as to what it was. I might have guessed at a pectoral sandpiper, but the bird watchers tell me it's a juvenile pectoral sandpiper. How do they know it's a juvenile? I have no idea. What's very surprising about this bird is how slow moving it is. Small waders are normally very quick, running up and down. This one is very sluggish, but it's not bothered by people. It comes very, very close to you, and that's typical of the species as I remember it. Because the bird is so slow moving, the autofocus in video mode was able to cope with it very well, and that is often a problem. The autofocus in video mode is much poorer than it is in stills photography mode.
So I'm pretty damp now, covered in mud. The thing I'm trying to keep clean is my hands, so I'm propping myself up on my elbows. I want my hands clean because as I'm touching the camera, I don't want to get mud in the camera.
There was no problem getting close to this bird. It would come right up to you.
No good. I've got to go down to the viewfinder. I can put the screen out, but it's too bright. I can't really see through the screen.
The Pectoral sandpiper nests in the high Arctic of North America and Asia, and then moves down for the winter into the southern hemisphere, mostly South America, but also southern Asia and even Australia. The bird is obviously alarmed by something here. It's something up in the sky. I can't see what it is. I can't really lift my head up. But something is making it crouch down. So this clip is taken with the built-in 1.25 extender in place, so a 500mm lens or the equivalent of a 1000mm lens on a full chip camera. Now this is the swipe. As that extender was removed, it's as quick as that, and now you've got a smaller image. Extender out or extender in.
So I'm in a bit of a state, but all I've got to do is get home, probably stand in the shower before I take my trousers off, I think. Now the coat's pretty wet and muddy too, but it was due for a wash, so that's not really a problem. Did I enjoy that? Yes. I was only lying in the mud for about an hour or so. I didn't get cold. I'm just feeling a bit slightly damp, but that's not really a problem. Now back in the car, I have a camping mat, which I could have bought to lie down on, although I think it's really too wet for the camping mat really. But I also have my Wellington boots, I have my over trousers and a waterproof top. I could have gone back to the car for them, but I didn't know I needed them here, and it's too far to walk. And that's one of my regular sayings: you can have all the gear, but you've got to have it here.
When I got home and processed all the pictures and started to file them away, I discovered I had photographed Pectoral sandpiper on a digital camera before. According to the IPTC data, this was taken in New York. And if it's taken in New York, this must be Jamaica Bay, a wonderful place for photographing waders. And in 2009 I photographed one in Warwickshire, even closer to where I live. My memory just doesn't work anymore. Thanks for watching.